guys, I'm Alex and welcome to a new episode of the Filmmaking and Cinematography Podcast. And today let's talk about what is your best camera to start as a beginner in the world of filmmaking. So there is just one single very simple answer. And this camera that you're going to need to start as a filmmaker is right in your hand or maybe in your pocket. It is your phone. Phones nowadays have a gorgeous camera. So you can just take out your phone, capture a picture, and you can be sure that that picture is very good to use. It's not quite on a level of a very expensive camera or cinema camera or so, but it's still a very powerful camera. So let's use this camera at the most to start out as a filmmaker. In this episode we're going to talk about two things. First of all, why your phone is the best camera that you can use, and secondly, how we can make that camera even better than it right now is. First of all, let's talk about the reasons. So my first reason is the quality. Phones nowadays, as said, have a very good quality. Not only for photos but also for videos. And also most phones nowadays can also shoot in HDR, so high dynamic range, and have a lot of presets to improve this image quality. Of course, talking about comparing a phone with a cinema camera, of course the colors won't match the same, and a keen eye will immediately find the difference between these two cameras. And of course some phones really pump up the colors and don't show up these colors anymore. But still, we have a very decent quality when it comes to the phone. So we can just compare some entry-level beginner filmmaking camera to a phone, and the phone wins in any single category, I'm for sure. Also, the resolution is very important. Phones nowadays can shoot almost all of them in 4K, and I think many people have some iPhones, and those again can shoot in 4K HDR, and with the latest update and the latest models can even shoot in Dolby Vision. So the quality nails it. Another aspect that I like to add here is the limitations. Of course, it sounds a bit weird. Why are the limitations that a phone might bring to you when you are starting out? Why are limitations necessary? Well, this all brings us to the story. So when you have a camera, a very professional camera, and you might not know every little detail of it, and so this means that you must focus a lot on the camera and you will neglect other aspects, for example visual storytelling or the actual story of your movie. It also might be the case that you are limited regarding the focal length. Some phones have only a simple wide camera, or maybe some of them have wide or ultra wide. Only fewer have also zoom option, and I mean optical zoom. This helps you focus also on the storytelling aspect regarding the camera angle and various camera aspects that you need to do without the focal length. For example, as said, choosing the angles or choosing the right camera movement. If you have too many options, then you might be overwhelmed trying to nail each one of them and then having some disaster in the visual storytelling. Another aspect why I recommend using the phone as a beginner is that phones are really easy to use. So I really think that you're very used to using your phone because you're using it daily. I think some of you might not, which is very good. But anyway, so using the phone is very simple, and also the camera app might be very simple. Just one button to hit record. Maybe you have some options to change exposure, make it brighter or darker. Maybe you have some night or dark mode, or maybe you have some other options. But that's it. You can just take your phone and start shooting. Some phones also have optical image stabilization or even digital stabilizations, which again help creating a more cinematic shot because you have smooth movement. It also comes down to the ease of use. Compare this to a cinema camera that always needs to be calibrated before use, that doesn't have any image stabilization, that has a lot of things that you need to nail. Also, the phone is very good at shooting low light in high exposure because the sensor is calibrated to do all of that. It does everything automatically, and it does that very good. On a cinema camera, every time you need to calibrate it, or every time you need to adjust the settings perfectly for your scene. Just imagine not nailing the perfect ISO and you have a shot full of noise. That's unusable in a movie. but I don't think that on an iPhone, if you're shooting in normal lighting conditions, you're gonna have any noise at all. Also, compared to an entry-level camera, as said, the quality is far better. But the only downside that some phones might have is that you're not going to have the same feeling as with a normal camera. So still the phone, this ease of use might be sometimes too easy if you want to advance. If you're just purely focusing on using the camera to tell a story or to improve your cinematography skills, storytelling skills, and so, then the phone is your choice to go. But if your main goal is to know how to use a camera inside out, then the phone might not be the best choice, and then your choice is to go with a camera, an entry-level camera, because that camera might be better for you to understand various settings, for example the shutter speed, ISO, aperture, and so and so. It also helps you better understand how a lens works and how you can create different stories or different images using various focal lengths and so and so, which or where the phone has a few limitations regarding lens, focal length, and focus, and so and so. Although phones are getting better and better, but if it would be your first ever camera, then still the phone is good to go. But there's one more thing. Let's talk right now about how you can make your phone, the camera of your phone, even better. And not only the better quality, but also better for you as a filmmaker. As said, some people might want to learn how to use the camera settings, and for this also the phone has got you. So you can use various pro camera apps that allow you to change the camera settings manually. On the default camera app, the ISO, shutter speed, and any other settings are set by default or set automatically. The only thing that you're allowed to change is the exposure, but with various apps you can choose these settings manually. Let me give you a few examples. I'm an iPhone user, so I am sorry, but I'm not 100% sure what I should recommend for Android. But at least for iPhone, my thing to go is the Blackmagic camera app. Right now, recently also Apple announced their own app for that, which is the Final Cut camera app, which is again a solid choice. The only advantage of the Blackmagic camera app is that you can shoot ProRes on any iPhone and not only the Pro models. But that's another story. Still, these are the two apps that I would go. Also, for other systems, I know about the app and I tested it with the Z Play app from Zhiyun, but the downside for this is that you need a Zhiyun gimbal to pair it to. But beside that, you can be 100% sure that this is the way to go, in my opinion. So with this you can perfectly tune in your settings and learn how to use various camera settings and be more and become better and and start knowing the manual mode of the camera. As previously said regarding the Blackmagic camera app is that it allows you to shoot in ProRes. It also allows you to shoot in log and other options, which are very good for color grading if you want to become more advanced into that part. This allows the phone to get even better because some entry-level cameras do not have these options to shoot in ProRes or to shoot in log. Another tip that will drastically improve your camera quality, and mostly using the phone, but also this applies to any other camera of course, is to get filmmaking accessories. And I'm not meaning to get a rig for your phone or such things, but the thing that I would recommend to any beginner is to get themselves a phone gimbal. This, although the phones have a very good image stabilization, still a gimbal will deliver even better results for that thing. It also enables some interesting features, for example object tracking, which might be very interesting for shooting some more complex scenes. It also allows to have time lapses and different features that help a bunch, creating an even better shot, even better storytelling, and creating mostly an even better movie. Also, another interesting accessory would be a camera slider. The same effect as with the gimbal applies here. It enables you to create much smoother shots, and this helps a bunch. Another very interesting accessory for your phone, and mostly if your phone doesn't have multiple lenses and doesn't have optical zoom capability, it's always recommended to get a phone lens. These can get pretty cheap, although they don't deliver the same quality as if your phone would use such a lens, mostly if those are the cheaper ones, but you'll still be able to zoom in, which enables you far more advancements when it comes to visual storytelling to choose your own focal length. Or of course, if that lens has something like that, but also just having the capability to have also some wide, for example 24mm and a 3x zoom, which would be something around 70mm, would be great. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I really hope that you learned something new about using your phone camera to its best potential. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and I hope to see you next time.